Most tax pros leave a message.
It's Jane. I'm moving on to a TurboTax expert who beat your price. Adam Devine, tell him how I feel.
Hey, tax pro, she's been thinking twice. Best believe TurboTax will beat your price. This is a tax break.
Switch to a TurboTax Live expert and we'll beat what you paid your pro last tax season. Make the switch at TurboTax.com/beatyourprice. TurboTax full service only. Sign up by 12/20/2024 and file by 4/1/2025. Full details at TurboTax.com/beatyourprice.
Who is that lady who keeps touching your back and shouting out? Come on up. Who is she?
She's the witness. She knew it.
Is she wife? You're his wife?
Yeah.
Okay. How about saying this is my wife?
All right. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. So that explains why you're trying to speak for him. I got it.
This is the plaintiff, Antonio Mizell. He says he rented a space in his garage for the defendant to park his scooter, and the guy didn't pay him for 5 months. He agreed to buy the scooter, but when he tried to start it up, the piece of junk didn't start. This guy conned him because he didn't pay him the rent he owes, and then he sold him a scooter that didn't work. Some people. He's suing for the $1,420 he's owed. This is the defendant, Elias Mateo Jr. He says he paid the plaintiff $100 a month for parking the scooter in the garage. And then he decided he didn't want it anymore and put it up for sale. The plaintiff bought it, then complained it wouldn't start. He never had any problems with it when he had it, and all sales are final. He's accused of scooting around the issue.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
People's Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Marilyn Milian is now presiding. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
All right, Mr. Mizell, you are suing Mr. Mateo for $1,420. You say he owes you and won't pay. What happened here?
Yeah. He rented my garage to park the scooter.
What kind of scooter are we talking about?
A Giadu.
A what?
A Giadu scooter.
Giadu. What does that
That's
look like?
the brand.
Yeah, no, I don't know anything about scooters. What does it look like?
It's a little scooter, 50cc scooter.
Okay, and so he parks it in your garage
from April to August.
And why does he have to park it in your garage?
Because it has a roof. And
okay.
It's closed. He doesn't want to
So how much
outside.
do you agree that he's going to pay you for?
$150 a month.
Okay, and is any of this in writing?
No.
All right. Any of it through text?
No.
All right. So then he starts parking it there when?
In April.
And then what happens?
And then he disappeared in July. He gave me like $80, 20 here, 10 there. And then in July...
Would you give him receipts when he gave you cash?
No, he didn't. He gave me $10, 20. I didn't give him no receipts, no.
Okay. So what happens?
He would come at 2 in the morning because he was doing deliveries.
Right.
Uber Eats.
Uh-huh.
And I would wake up at 2 in the morning to let him in, bring in the bike.
Right.
And up to...
he didn't have a key?
No, I didn't give him a key.
Okay.
The last month, I left it open for him. I told him, close it when you get in.
Okay.
And then in August, he disappeared. And then he told me on September 1st, if I wanted to buy the bike, I gave him $600 cash. I got it on video.
Did you test out the bike before buying it?
No, I didn't start it.
Why not?
I know.
It's right in your. It's like it was too far. It's in your garage. Why wouldn't you just start it?
I know you got to test drive it, but I see.
Drinking it. Who is that lady who keeps touching your back and shouting out? Come on up. Who is she?
She's the witness. She knew what this
Is she?
Wife.
You're his wife?
Yeah.
Okay, how about saying this is my wife?
All right, yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. So that explains why you're trying to speak for him. I got it. So just stay.
I was doing like this because he has high blood pressure.
Yeah.
And I see him.
I know, but you're just agitating him. So, okay, no, that's fine. You can stay up. You can stay up.
Yeah, I didn't test drive it because I seen him using it for 4 months.
That's kind of on you, right? What happened when you bought it?
It just cranks. I got a video. It just goes. It doesn't start. I got the video.
Now, you saw him use it, but then there was a while when he wasn't using it.
Yeah, I know. August, the whole month of August, he didn't use it.
Right. So why wouldn't you just start it before you decide you're going to buy it?
I know.
Tell the truth, Tony. You were drinking.
Go ahead.
He was drinking.
He was drinking what?
He was in a hurry.
Go ahead. Let me hear from the wife. I have a feeling I'm going to get the real skinny. Go ahead.
He came and they was making the transaction. He came in his vehicle, and obviously we trust him because we know him, and he was drinking.
He being your husband.
Yeah, he was drinking, so he didn't start it.
Yeah, but he already knew. Yeah, but that doesn't make sense because he knows he's going to buy it. That's why he has the cash on him. So before he was drinking, he could have tested
You're
it.
right.
Right.
That's right.
That's no. I mean, it's in your garage for God's sake.
It didn't cross my mind to start it. I automatically assumed it would.
All right. So now when it doesn't work, what do you do? Because it is a new. It's a pretty new scooter.
It's a new scooter.
So why is it under warranty?
No. They don't have warranty.
Okay. What was wrong with the scooter?
Nothing. When I had the scooter, it was good. I always did oil change on it. He called me 3 hours later, saying it didn't work. And I told him to give it a boost, like a battery boost. I said just probably like a car, like when you don't ride it for so long, you just gotta give a boost on the battery. He didn't want to hear it. He was just saying,
Did you ever try boosting the battery?
Yeah, it cranks though. It cranks.
I don't know. I didn't see that. All I know is that when a month I didn't ride it. I did an oil change 2-3 days before that. I did only use it for like Uber Eats and stuff like that, like just to work. I never had no problems with that. I only had.
What was your agreement with him that you would pay him how much?
Well, when we first did the first transaction, he said I gave him $80. I gave him $100. Well,
do you have receipts?
Well, I don't have a receipt on that.
I mean, why do you go? Cash doesn't leave this hand without a receipt coming into this hand.
But like I didn't think I was gonna,
Yeah, nobody does. We have a name for people who don't think about that.
Didn't think
we call them litigants. What was the deal?
The deal is that he said $100 a month.
Not 150.
Not 150. Well, he did mention more money, but I said only if you put a camera in there, because I want to make sure. And plus, he didn't give me a key. So I'm like, if you give me a key, I'll pay you whatever you want.
Wait, what was it he wanted? 150?
$100.
So from the beginning, he told you $100?
Yes, I just gave him $100. He was okay with it.
No, I didn't ask you what you gave him. I asked you what you were supposed to give him. That's a different question.
Well, $100. That's what my $100. $100.
It doesn't sound like you're that. You're not convincing
He wanted more. He wanted more money.
He wanted more means he was demanding 150, and you
with
decide.
A camera. And he agreed with it with a camera.
He agreed 150 with a camera.
With a camera. I told him, I'll give you 150 if there's a camera and you give me a key. He didn't want to give me a key and put a camera.
So then you said.
I said, I'll give you 100, and he was okay with it.
And he said, okay, 100.
Yes, that's it.
All right, so according to you, you pay him 100 for the first month, and the first month is what?
I think May.
Not April.
Well, could have been April.
Do you guys have any texts that might tell me when you guys first?
Well, I don't. I deleted all my text messages. I deleted him. I blocked him and everything.
But you can unblock someone and get me the text messages.
No, I deleted everything. No, I don't have it.
It was from April.
Do you have any text messages that show me when it was?
I just got the videos of the bike not starting.
That's later. That's after everything hits the fan. I'm asking something that would prove when your agreement started.
In April.
No, you're not. Do you hear me? I'm not asking you to repeat yourself a fifth time. I'm asking you if you have any evidence of when it started. For example, texts that show, yeah, come on over, you can store it here. Communication. But did you guys ever text?
Yeah, we did, but I delete them too to leave room. I delete them too.
All right. So now, according to you, do you ever list your machine?
Yes.
Do you ever list it when you wanted to sell it?
Yes, I don't have proof, but I did list it. I listed like a week before he bought it. Just like 4 days I had it on the listed, and when he bought it, I took it off.
All right, and what was it listed at?
I put it for $800.
How much did you pay for it?
14.
So you listed at 800 and you sell it to him for 600. Why?
Because he mentioned that I owe him money for the garage and...
So selling it to him for 600 was supposed to take into account and pay for...
Yes.
...the 200 that you say you owed him for garage?
Well,
when did you sell it to him?
September.
All right, so even going by your account, if it's May is when you start and you only paid him for 1 month, we have June, July, and August, you would owe him 3 months, right?
Correct.
Right, so how would taking $200 off the bike cover that?
Well, it was a deal. Like, I asked him. I was like, look, the bike, he knows the bike.
Do you have any evidence of what you are saying?
No, I don't have it.
Is the deal to buy the bike in writing?
No.
No.
Do you have anything from a mechanic saying what's wrong with the bike and what it'll take to fix?
No, I just put it
He
back.
said he was a mechanic. I don't know.
Are you a mechanic?
I think, yeah, I know a little bit about cars.
I mean, I don't know.
Right, but did you ever take it to somebody who knows about these scooters specifically?
No, I just...
Why doesn't the scooter have a warranty if it's so new?
Well, the thing about the scooters, they got probably warranty through the company, but not warranty where I bought it at. That's probably what it, like they
Did
had.
you buy it used?
I bought it brand new. I got the title, I got everything.
Well, then why wouldn't there be a warranty?
They didn't give me.
I mean, I don't care if the warranty's from the dealer or from the manufacturer. It's still a warranty.
No, the manufacturer.
How lazy are you people? You come to the people's court without a shred of evidence for anything, not even text, because you don't even save those, even though it's obvious that everything's hitting the fan as soon as August happens or September happens. You guys know that we have a problem. Neither of you go back to your phone companies to get the record of any text. You come in here with, do you have a piece of paper in your hand? Any shred of evidence for anything, Mr. Missel? How about you? You got a shred of evidence for anything?
I mean, only
nothing. Just absolutely nothing. Not your advertisement to show that you took the money off in order to compensate for. Just nothing. Do you realize that there's probably a manufacturer's warranty on this item? You realize that, right? Because you haven't even had it a year, right?
No, I only had it for 4 months.
You're too lazy to even get that. When you got the notice in the mail that you were being sued, that's the time to say, geez, that thing is under warranty. Let me find that warranty and see if it transfers to the next owner. You know, you do something to try to solve it. You didn't even do that much.
No. I got a few texts.
Oh, you found some?
Yeah, I got 3.
How loudly do I have to yell for you to find texts? Let me see what you do have.
You want to read it? I mean, when I told him Happy Labor, I said, I'll see you in court. Happy Labor Day.
Yeah, that doesn't prove anything. That's just you know, playing king and macho.
Trying to be nice, yeah, right. Trying to sue me at the same time.
What do you mean? Of course he's trying to sue you. He says you owe him money.
I gave him the bike.
You didn't give him the bike. You sold him the bike.
Could have done anything to it. I don't know. To my point.
Like he could have, or he could not have.
Excuse me, Your Honor. I'm going to do something and then buy it.
Yeah. I think he's trying to put it.
He thinks you're going to buy it and then do something.
No, the thing is that I think
maybe you wrote it wrong, you broke it.
I think he tried to put his own
There's
oil.
There's a video there of the bike not starting. And there's a video of a bike starting next to it. And the going rate for rent for a garage in Union City is $300 and something.
Where's the video?
The video is in the.
I bought one myself.
Yeah, that's the one.
I paid $1,000.
Does it have a warranty?
All the lady gave me was a title, but
did you buy it used?
Brand new.
So you bought it from a dealership.
In the same place.
And at the same place. Mm-hmm. And does it have a manufacturer's warranty?
It does have a manufacturer.
Yeah.
It does have
the
it.
paper, I was so excited. I was happy to get this bike.
Do you understand what a warranty is?
Not really.
Okay, it means that they cover any repairs.
Oh, no, as is. The lady doesn't do nothing because she said it on the phone.
Right, but I'm sure she said that on the phone.
When we had to legalize them.
You don't have a warranty unless she gives you a warranty when you buy the bike. But why wouldn't you have a manufacturer's warranty for a certain amount of time, whether it's 90 days or a year or whatever?
Oh, I get it now, what you say.
No, it does. It has a warranty for 1 year.
Well, then where's your warranty?
Well, I don't have, it didn't give it to me, but it says it on the bike.
I told her that I'm going to call the Better Business Bureau on her.
It's signed, man.
All right, don't put the date.
So everybody.
Bro, let me show you something. This guy right here is waiting for me to give him the bike too. A lot of people want the bike.
All right.
I just wanted to keep your word because it's a garage.
Yeah, all right. So, it's a done deal.
Yeah, but done deal. But listen, I gotta come back. I gotta come back.
It sounds like the sale of the bike was supposed to handle everything. When he tells you, I got other people who want to buy it, but you, because of the garage and all that, and then you're saying it's a done deal.
It has like a 1-year warranty from the manufacturer.
Yes. Why didn't you bring it?
Like I said, I didn't bring it because I
I'm the one who told you that. Why are you proclaiming this when I told you that? And I'm yelling at you for not going through the trouble of even bringing that. Do you have with you the paperwork from the purchase?
No.
What do you expect to have happen here if you don't even bring me proof of what the repair is and why it won't start? And maybe it's something super simple that's, you know, $100 repair. Am I talking to you?
No.
Maybe it's something super simple like $100 repair. Then that would be your measure of damages instead of what you're asking for, which is $1,420. So why is it that you don't bring me anything? And then while we're at it, why is it that you don't bring me anything?
Well, Your Honor, I be honest with you. I just thought that, you know, because I sold him the bike. I mean, like, he took the bike as is. I had other people to buy it. You know, it's probably something simple to fix. Could have been just a little boost on the battery, just like when you don't ride a car or any other thing. Could have just gave it a boost, and that's it. He didn't want to hear it. So I kept telling him, like, that's it. If you want your money back, I'll give it to you.
When did you buy the bike?
I bought the bike 2 weeks ago. Well, I'm sorry, 4 months ago I bought the bike. I bought the bike around.
Do you have, because you strike me as the kind of guy who doesn't keep paperwork?
No, I don't keep paperwork. I'm sorry, I lack on that.
So do you have proof of when you bought the bike?
No, I could check, let me see.
And where?
Could I speak?
No, hold on. And where? And when you bought the bike, do you say to him, do you have a manufacturer's warranty? Can I have that? Nothing.
I got a picture the day I bought it, yes.
Not much of a planner's.
I got a picture the day I bought it. I have a picture the day I bought it, which was May 22nd.
That's lovely. That doesn't prove to me that you have a manufacturer's warranty, though,
no.
does it? Like, you would have to show proof of purchase in order to have a manufacturer's warranty.
No,
How did you pay for the bike?
Cash. You know,
and the lady who owns this shop is a little uncooperative?
Yes, very. Yes, it's very. She's very complicated for everything.
She's charging people to sign titles because now you need to register scooters and get insurance for them before. They just changed the law, like, from when we...
Right, but the question is, does she have proof of the transaction?
No.
Because she's burying the cash.
Yeah.
Correct.
All right. Mr. Meisel, we have a couple of problems. I'm listening to the video that she helpfully took of the transaction, and in that video, I'm hearing him say all kinds of very interesting things, but one of the things he says is, I'm selling it to you because of the whole garage thing. Like, it really does sound like that sale. Like, we wouldn't be here if the bike worked great and you and your wife were riding into the sunset. It's only because you end up buying a bike that's a used item that you don't test drive, that is an as-is sale, and then it turns out to have a problem, that we're here for both garage stuff and that. And frankly, you've muddied the waters by doing that, because I can't separate those two transactions, and you've really muddied the waters by not test driving a bike that you're buying and shelling out $600 for. Whether you were drinking that day or not is irrelevant, because you knew before that day when you went to the bank you were going to buy it, and it's right on your property. It's not like, oh, the guy came with the bike and I was drunk so I didn't test drive it. It's stored on your property. When did you take that video? When does he reach out to you? How many days after the sale?
He actually reached out to me the same day, like 3 hours later.
It was the same day.
Like 4 hours later. Like 4 hours later.
Yeah. Based on this evidence, I have no choice but to rule in favor of the defendant in this case. I would suggest that you obtain a receipt from that lady that sold you the bike, if you can, because that's something that he can then take to the manufacturer if it's still under the manufacturer's warranty. You should do that so that you're not a jerk. You understand what I'm saying?
Correct.
Make some effort. If she doesn't give it to you, she doesn't give it to you. But make some effort, and maybe you can, since you gave that lady business, maybe you can encourage her to show the sale. Good luck to you guys, because, you know.
But, Your Honor, can I just say one thing? She has a bike as well. She went there in the same place, so she knows about the same thing I'm explaining.
I'm just saying make an effort. I know. She
You
said
know, she knows exactly. So the same thing.
What? But does the lady give you paperwork?
She gives us like a receipt. That's the only
Okay,
thing.
well, that's what you should
just
have.
what it is.
Ask her for a copy of your receipt.
Correct.
That's what you need to ask her for. At least make the effort. Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
Hold on right there, please. Hold on.
So the plaintiff fails in his effort to get a $1,420 judgment against the defendant, and the defendant prevails. Mr. Mizell, you know, it's interesting. You didn't bring anything into the courtroom to help the judge find in your behalf. Do you realize what a big mistake that was?
Yeah, should have brought something, yeah, obviously. Yeah.
Anything?
But the rent, at least I should have got the rent, I think. But it is what it is.
And it's amazing you haven't tried to get it fixed. Did you take it to anybody to see if they could get it to run?
I just
you haven't done anything?
didn't start. I put it back in the driveway and I left it there still. It's still there.
Really? Your wife has a scooter, though, right?
Yeah, she has one.
Does she ride hers around? Is she riding it?
Yeah, of course, yes. It's legal. It has plates. Yeah, she rides it.
And so you're back at the house watching her ride.
Yeah.
She wants you to ride with him. Right?
Yeah. She could ride two people on the bike, yeah.
Wow. Boy, you made so many mistakes.
Yeah, obviously.
All right. If I were you, I'd try to get it fixed. See what's wrong with it. Don't just let it sit there.
All right.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Sorry you lost, but it's your own fault. All right, let's see what Mr. Mateo has to say. He didn't bring any evidence in the courtroom with him either. So he's not much sharper than the plaintiff was in this case. You heard what the judge suggested you do. Do you think you'll do that? Go try and get a receipt from the person who sold it to you?
Yes, actually today I'm gonna go get a receipt. You know, show him that you know, maybe it got warranty. Take care of that because honestly speaking, the bike was good when I gave it to him.
Well, Doug, we talked about it. This is an as-is sale, which means the only way to undo it is if you can prove there was some kind of material fraud.
I would like to know if you can sue a person who was involved with your vehicle being stolen.
You can sue somebody for being involved with your vehicle being stolen. What does that really mean, involved with? Because I think of a stolen vehicle, I think somebody may be coming with a screwdriver and shoving it into the ignition, starting it, and driving off. But I guess you might need a wheelman to drop you off by the car.
That's definitely involved in.
But
if I bought him the screwdriver for his
fence.
birthday, that would not be involved in.
No. And, you know, car theft is out of control in some parts of the country, in some cities. And a lot of juveniles are getting involved in car theft rings, in part because the organized car theft rings know that the juvenile can only get, 60 days of community service or whatever they're going to give them. Whereas if they get tagged with Grand Theft Auto and they're 18 or older, they could get 5 years in prison or whatever it is. So unfortunately, there's a lot of that going on. You know what the worst city in the country is for auto theft?
Which one?
Denver, and the Denver area. That's what I hear. And the safest big city in the country for auto theft.
Which one?
Pittsburgh.
So,
just leave the key in the car if you go to Pittsburgh. No one's going to take it, right?
These are the plaintiffs, Derek Williams and Inez Perez. Derek says he and his girlfriend, Inez, rented an apartment, and the sneaky defendant's going back on his word regarding their security deposit, and they're outraged. That's right, they made a deal with this guy. He turned around and stabbed them in the back, and they're here seeking justice and the return of their hard-earned $1,500. This is the defendant, Rafael Nunez. He says the plaintiff stayed in the apartment after their lease ended, and the lease clearly stated the apartment will automatically renew for another year. The lackadaisical plaintiffs never gave him a definitive move-out date. He has every right keeping their security and could have easily charged them penalties, but he's a nice guy, and he didn't. He's accused of keeping all of it.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiffs say they rented an apartment from the defendant, and the sneaky guy owes them money and will not own up to it. But the defendant claims that the plaintiffs overextended their stay past the end of their lease, so he doesn't owe them squat. It's the case of, like a fish, you begin to stink.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
All right. Derek Williams and Inez Perez, you are suing N&N Properties, represented here by Rafael Nunez. You are the owner, for the $1,500 security deposit that he refuses to return. Let me hear from either Mr. Williams or Ms. Perez, whoever wants to tell me the story.
Yes. Well, we moved in October of 2020, and it was $1,000 a month, and we stayed. He told us, I never met him. I deal with his brother. I presume it's his brother, Jose.
Yeah, we've never met.
So I dealt with Jose all the time. Real nice guy. You know what I mean? He told us to give him 3 months in advance.
3 months in advance. What does that mean?
3 months in advance notice before that we're not going to renew the lease. He
Okay,
told
well,
us
what does your lease say you have to give in terms of notice?
I don't know what the lease says. The lease.
Well, let's look at it. According to the lease, it says renewable 1 year. And then under the renewal clause, it says renewals and changes in lease. The landlord may offer the tenant a new lease to take effect at the end of the lease. The new lease may include reasonable changes. The tenant will be notified of any proposed new lease at least blank days, but it's blank. Why isn't that filled in, Mr. Nunez?
It was forgotten.
Okay, yeah, that happens. Blank days before the end of the present lease. If no changes are made, the tenant may continue to rent the apartment on a month-to-month basis. Okay, that's what normally happens under the law. If there's not a new lease, then it's a month-to-month. But it says if no changes are made, the tenant may continue to rent the apartment on a month-to-month basis, with the rest of the lease remaining the same. In either case, the tenant must notify the landlord of the tenant's decision to stay or leave at least blank days. That also wasn't filled out. All right, so who is Jose to you? Is it your property manager? Is it a relative, Mr. Nunez?
He was the maintenance guy.
All right, so here's my question. He tells you just give us 90 days notice, and according to you, you give him 90 days notice? Like, when do you tell him? What do you tell him?
I told him I wouldn't be renewing my lease.
Okay, and this lease ends, let's just look at that lease again, because that's what we're governed by. This lease ends, date of lease, October 8th.
2021.
Yeah, just doesn't say when it begins and ends.
Yes, it does.
Okay, where does it say that?
And the top, it says date of lease,
no, it
September 10, 2020.
No, it doesn't. It says October 8th, 2020. See?
And it says 9,
Yeah,
10,
that's
20.
Wait,
that's,
what are you
that's the
looking
start of
at?
the
Hold
lease.
on one second. What is it you're looking at that has a different date, Mr. Nunez?
I'm looking at the copy of the list that I got in front of me right here.
And what does that say?
September 10, 2020.
I don't have
wrong.
that.
That's wrong.
Right, we moved in October.
We moved in
Hold on,
October.
just hold on. Everybody hold on.
Oh, that looks doctored.
Yeah,
I'll be the
fixed
judge of that. It does look doctored, but it used to say something else. Just a second. It used to say, looks like it said 8, and then it got changed to 9. It still says renewable 1 year, and then the words auto-renewable appear. Is that a signed lease? Where's his signature on that one?
I never signed that.
Okay, this is very, very interesting. This purports to be signed by Inez and Derek and Jose, and it has different dates. The one I have is dated October 8th of 2020. The one you are holding up appears to have had an 8 at one point, and then it was changed to a 9. How long were you looking at the apartment before you moved in?
Yeah, just a couple days, because we were actually looking for a place.
Yeah, that's really weird. So that wouldn't
And we
count
sold it for rent, yeah.
Do you have, Mr. Nunez, I'm just curious, do you have any proof of rent payments in September?
No.
Okay, all right. You guys end up deciding in October that you're not going to continue to live there. You talked to Jose when?
I talked to Jose about moving in July. In July, I said I won't be renewing the lease.
Okay.
And he said fine.
Okay, and then what happens?
And then what happened?
Because you don't leave on October 8th, do you?
No.
No, you stayed until November what?
18th, November 18th.
So when do you tell Jose that, hey, our apartment's ready and we're leaving?
Okay, I told him when? On the 17th or the 16th?
Of what month?
Of what, November?
November.
Of November.
Okay, and your rent is how much?
My rent now?
No, your rent then was what? $1,000?
$1,000.
All right, Mr. Nunez, why do you feel that you're entitled to the security deposit?
First of all, if you look at the top of the lease, it says 1 year, but it also says auto-renewable.
Okay, well, now
So
we
it
do
means-
now we do kind of have a problem because there's two leases. The one I have says renewable. The one you have says auto-renew. That's fine. Go on. Why else? So how do you feel that this lease means that they agreed to a whole new lease? Tell me how.
If you look at paragraph 25, it says that any agreement to be effective has to be in writing.
That's right.
I never received any notice of people moving out or staying in.
According to them, they gave notice to Jose. Where's Jose? Is he here to testify?
Yeah, but the lease says you have to have reading notice. It's in paragraph 25.
Right. No, let me tell you what paragraph. Yeah, I see
20.
it. Let me read out loud paragraph 25. The entire lease. All promises the landlord has made are contained in this written lease. The lease can only be changed by an agreement in writing by both the tenant and the landlord. I'm more interested in paragraph 20, which says renewals and changes in the lease. And then it talks about how you may offer a new lease. Well, you didn't. And that he has X amount of days, which you don't fill out. And then if he doesn't, here's the words of the lease that you had him sign. If no changes are made, the tenant may continue to rent the apartment on a month-to-month basis. What did you mean to say in here? I think, judging by what you just said, you expected that if nobody does anything, it's automatically another year. I think that's what you mean to say, right?
Yes.
Right. Then why is it that you say if no one does anything, it's a month-to-month?
It's the way the lease is written.
Now, where did you get the lease? On the internet?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Garbage in, garbage out on the internet. This does not say what you think it says. You think it says, if you put the words auto-renew, that means they're obligated if nothing happens. This says the exact opposite of what you think it says. This says, and I quote, I'm going to read it again, paragraph 20, if no changes are made, and you didn't make any changes, neither you nor Jose offered them a new lease, neither you nor Jose, that's normally the way it works is they sign a new lease. But what you say instead is, and if nothing changes, which is what happened here, nothing changed, you may continue to rent on a month-to-month. I don't think you meant it to say that, but that's what it says. Not only does their copy of what they say is the lease say that, your copy of what you say is the lease also says that, right? It also says it's a month-to-month. So where are we? Now we're at a month-to-month. You think, Mr. Williams, let me hear from you, or Ms. Perez, whoever wants to tell me just one at a time. I want to understand how you feel that telling somebody in November we're leaving next week is appropriate notice.
Well, we actually gave Jose notice in July.
But no, you didn't give him a date. I don't think that word means what you think it means. Notice means we're leaving on such and such a date. Why is that important? Because the landlord has to re-rent the place. And the landlord has to have enough time to re-rent the place. So if you say, hey, I moved out at 5 minutes ago, that's not notice to the landlord. Right. Hold on, let me finish. You don't have to give the landlord any notice if you had gotten out in October, because your lease ended in October. But you stayed. And by operation of law, when you stay, you make it a month-to-month. That's not only by operation of law, it's also by operation of your lease. So here's where we are. You stay in November, you pay in November, you are now a month-to-month tenant, and just like every other month-to-month tenant in New Jersey, you have to give 30 days notice. You gave him 1 week's notice. So why wouldn't you? Oh, just a second. I need you to listen. First, listen to my question, then answer. Mm-hmm. If the day you say, hey, now is when I'm finally leaving, the apartment's ready. I'm leaving at the end of this month, or I'm leaving Thursday. But that's not a full rental period's worth of notice, which is what the law requires. So if you don't give a full rental period's notice, then you owe December, because you only gave him 6 days to find a tenant in December. You wouldn't owe January. I know he says he rented it in February. You claim you saw a tenant there in January. He showed me the new lease that starts in February. I don't even know that any of that matters, because I have you as a month-to-month tenant, and the only thing I am concerned about is December. You have to give 30 days notice. If you give it a week before November ends, then that counts for the end of December, not for the end of November. Answer that for me.
Can I say something?
No, let Inez talk, for the love of God. Let her say something.
When our lease ended October and we did the month-to-month, we did tell Jose we're just going to rent one more month, because we were already in process of most of our stuff in storage, because we were moving out of state.
Yeah, here's the thing. In your state,
ready.
I know your apartment wasn't ready, and you didn't give them a definite date until the month of November. That's when you gave them a definite date. You would have had to give them the definite date November 1st. And just saying, well, we're paying this month because we really don't know when the apartment's ready is not notice. And what did you want to say, Mr. Williams?
I was going to say that I actually told him, listen, I may need December also.
Right.
Listen,
right. Thank you for being honest. So it's
I'm
not
being honest.
I know, and that's where the notice thing comes in. So you owe December. That's all you owe. That means you, Mr. Nunez, can only keep December, and December's $1,000, not $1,500. I am ruling that Mr. Nunez has to return the remaining $500 to Mr. Williams and Ms. Perez. Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, George.
So the plaintiff sued for $1,500, but they get $500 back, not $1,500. Mr. Nunez, let me ask you, you understand the judge's decision? And what do you think about it?
I understand what the judge said, but also you have to remember that when people move out of the apartment, they didn't paint the apartment when they left. So I had to go in there and paint the apartment and fix that. There wasn't damages. I got to be honest. There was no damages, but it needed to be painted. And the remaining $500 was part of the fixing up the apartment.
Well, you didn't make that clear in the case. And do you really expect all the plaintiffs to repaint apartments before they move out? I thought that's your job as the landlord.
That's the reason why you keep deposits.
Well, look, you didn't contest that at all. It wasn't brought up, so that's on you. You got to give $500 back, and you're going to have to live with it. Okay, that's a judge's order.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Mr. Williams, Ms. Perez, how do you feel about this? You know, you were honest, Mr. Williams, and said you might stay December. Well, look, you had to pay for December. You knew you might have to, and you did. Mm-hmm. So you only get $500 back. You all right with that?
That's fine. That's fine. I'm happy with that.
Okay, very good. Well, an easy end to the case then. Everybody understands. Thank you very much, and congratulations.
Thank you.
500. That's all you get.
You know, I've talked before that when you sign a lease, you really should read it. I also know most people don't. But if you won't read the lease, at least look at the critical provisions, the amount of money you're paying, and in particular here, how much notice do you have to give before moving out? Typically, landlords require 30 days. Now, in a lot of cities and states, even if you don't mention in the lease how much notice you have to give, the law implies it's 30 days, but you got to check to make sure you know what your rights are. So either check online or check your lease.
Marilyn, what old person things do you do? Now, be honest now. It's time for you to come clean.
Oh, my! This weekend was my daughter's graduation. We spent the entire weekend with all three of our children, and all I felt was old. I was very proud and everything, but I also felt super old.
That's because everybody's so young.
They're so intolerant of the tiniest thing, like, what did you say? Like, making them repeat it.
That's true. You got to watch everything you say.
The phone, when we put the light on to read the menu.
Oh, my God.
Or we take...
That's an old person thing.
That's an
Lighting
old person thing to them.
For sure.
Because according to them, we then go like this when we're talking, and then the light's in their face.
Blinding everyone in the
restaurant. And they're like, oh my God, you people are so...
Right.
And then, or when I'm taking video and I insist on putting the flash, she's like, okay, you can't take that long a video, you're blinding me.
Right.
That made me feel old this weekend.
Kids.
you know.
But I'll bet you're wondering what old person thing I do.
Oh, I know what old person thinks.
Everything I do.
No, go ahead.
Sit there in my chair and yell, "Get off my lawn, you kids!"
You
Start
meddling kids.
Shake my fist at them. No, I don't do that. Come on, but I do some old person things. Like, for example, I like to do puzzles.
I love to do puzzles.
We do them together a lot.
And I don't think that's necessarily.
And I always get annoyed when you keep getting the pieces together. I say, slow down.
You are a little.
Really making me look
You are
bad.
a little competitive.
Right. So I don't tolerate that, do I?
Well, you gotta, but it's I don't really think that's old person though. I think.
You don't think so?
I guess it's kind of old school, but.
Get 1,000 pieces of a puzzle spilled out on your table.
Yeah, it's kind of messy.